Hello guys, welcome back to another video. This is the third part in this series. So in the first video we made this table, and in the second video we made some matching chairs. Now this is going to be making things to go with the table and chairs to make it look nicer. So the first thing we're going to be working on is a seat cushion to go on these chairs. So I'm going in with this yellow fabric because this is the colour I've got to go on the window of the blinds, and I know from my measurements that this seat including this back piece here is 6 by 6, so this bit here is 6 by 5. Now we will want to leave a little bit of a gap because we're going to be doing some sewing around the outside, to leave a little bit of a margin so that when we sew it, it's not going to be too small. I'm going to cut it along the seam. Like this, and then you will end up for each cushion with 2 squares. I'm just going to cut out a second square and I will be back. So we have our 4 bits of fabric. Now I have some pretty gold ribbon here, and I'm going to cut off 4 lengths. So we have 4 lengths of gold ribbon. We'll put that off to one side. Now while still working on the fabric and the ribbon, we are going to bring our table in, and because I also want to make a matching table runner. So we have our 3" by 11", and then we're going to get this ribbon here, which is a really nice pretty lace, and we're going to go roughly the same length. Now before we get on to any sewing, the first thing is I want to sort out these frayed edges. So I'm actually, before I sew, I'm going to add a little bit of glue, and I'm just going to fold these edges in just a little bit like this, and then the glue will hold it in place so I can then go in and sew along it. And then once you have done that, we're going to use glue just to tack this down the center. Okay, so this is what we're looking like so far. We've glued the hems down temporarily, and I've put a little bit of glue on this ribbon on top, leaving a bit of a gap on each side here where it is not glued down, because there is a reason for that. So leave a couple inches each side where this ribbon is free. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go along these seams here and sew them down so they are nice and tidy, and I'm going to sew just a little strip either side at the top here in the center bit, just to make sure that this is stuck down. And then the other sewing I'm going to do is, you've got your 2 pieces here, put them on top of each other. So if it doesn't matter with this fabric, but if you're using a kind of fabric that looks better on one side than it does the other, the side that you're wanting for it to show, you want it to be facing on the inside, because we are going to sew these inside out. And also what you are going to do with these ribbons, believe it or not, is, that one's all crumpled today. You're going to find the middle on two of the ribbons, and you can tack this in place if you want to. It's totally up to you, or you can just hold it in place whilst you're doing the sewing. So you have it like this with your ribbon inside the materials. You start by here at this end of the ribbon, sew across, down, across here, up and down a little bit by here, and you're going to leave a little bit of a gap here, making sure that you do sew the ribbon at the top here, and the rest of the ribbon that's inside, you make sure that that isn't sewed, so that's just loose inside of the fabric. So these are what your little pillow should look like once you've finished sewing and you've left a little hole by here. So now you're going to want to turn them right side round. So because obviously we want the outside to be on the inside and the inside to be on the outside, which is why we've left this hole go into, is put a little bit of stuffing inside the pillow. Now I haven't gone out and bought stuffing especially just to fill a little pillow. I've actually pulled this out of one of the dog's toys. He's had it for a good 2 months now, but it's pretty much mangled, you know, there's rips and holes and all sorts in it, so it's not any good for him now really. So I just taken the stuffing out of that to repurpose before throwing that toy away, because yeah, it's not much cop. If you're wondering what the toy looks like that I'm talking about, here it is. So yeah, you can see he's well and truly got lots of rips and holes and all sorts. You know, I am not mad that it's broken, that's what his toys are there for. But yeah, you know, reuse stuff where you can. You know, be a bit more mindful and responsible of the stuff that, you know, we're using and consuming. So once you've put your stuffing in and made it a nice little pillow, you're just going to take a little bit of cotton and thread and sew that closed. So this is what our pillow is looking like now, and we have our ribbons, and then you can just tie it to the chair like I've done with this one here. And you have a nice little seat cover like so. And I tie them like this because I'm not any good at doing both. So we have our two chairs with our nice little seat covers. Now moving on to the table runner. So I've just hemmed the material, as you can see, all the way around, and then this ribbon I've just sewn a line down the centre here, but not all the way. I left a couple inches gap, so this is loose, and we are just going to do on this side what we did here. So all I used was one of these little see-through elastics that you can buy for your hair, and buy a big pack of them, of like 200 of them. So we just bend the ribbon in a pleasing way. Tie this around it a few times. we can fiddle about with it to make sure it's laying nice, and also that it is roughly the same distance away as the other one. So this knot is approximately just under 2 inches from the end. So we can see here that this is too high up. We need to bring it down a bit, which is easy enough if you haven't tied the elastic too tight. So then we remeasure, there we go, 2 inches, and then I might take it up just to, it was just a little bit over 2 inches, so yeah, a little bit over 2 inches, and then we're just going to trim off this excess like we did here. Like so. And we have a cute little table runner. So let's bring our table back and turn it sideways. This is what it would look like, and it dangles down a bit on the sides with our little chairs with our cushion covers. I think that looks super cute so far, but now we need something to go in the centre of the table because it's looking a little bit plain. You will see a video of me making this flower, which I made purposely to go in the centre of the table. Yeah, there we go. You can see it. It's our cute little flower. Here's our table we made in the first video. The chairs we made in the second video. And then the accessories we have made in this video. And as you can see, it is perfect scale for Barbie. And yeah, please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, all that stuff. And I'll see you in another video, guys. Bye.